Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. The other day I was organizing some of my playlists and I realized that I had a playlist called Tags and there were only 2 videos in it. So out of curiosity, I plugged in the search term beauty YouTuber tags and I found a couple older ones, which I'll probably do, but then I also found this one and I think that this one's more contemporary. I remember seeing Angelica's video, I think earlier this year, maybe February or March, I don't remember. Anyway, I thought that it'd be fun to do myself because I like to watch these sorts of tag videos. I think it's fun to learn about the creator whose videos you're generally watching, and so if anyone's interested, then that's what this video is going to be about today. As far as I can tell, this tag was created by Kate the Great and Better Off Red. I will link their channels down below, and then I'll also link the 2 creators who I watched. I watched Angelica Nyqvist's video and Amy Loves Makeup, so I'll link theirs below as well. I'm also going to list all of the questions in case you would like to do this yourself. And if I forgot to mention, my name's Rachel. Hi. If you're new to my channel, I'm a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. I love to play with colorful eyeshadow. This eyeshadow look was filmed. It is my first look using the Udenzi Solmone 2 palette. I love it so much. As soon as the video is live, I'll link it down below. I'm going to be doing a 2-look, 1 palette video for that one. So I need to do tomorrow's look and then I can finish editing the video and upload it. But anyway, let's just get right into this because it's going to be fun. Question number 1. How do you feel about the term influencer and do you think that you are one? Honestly, the term influencer, I think, has sort of morphed over time. There are people who are really big influencers and they often seem to have rather a bad reputation, you know, a lot of entitlement, a lot of unrealistic lifestyles, and you've got people who have millions and millions of followers who are influencers and they're doing beauty and they're doing food and they're doing vlogs and they're doing fashion and they're just sort of, that's their life. But that's not very relatable to most people. I mean, it's certainly not relatable to me. My baby's upstairs napping. I'm sitting in my living room in front of my couch. There are baby toys all around me, and I just snatched some time this morning to do some eyeshadow. So to me, that sort of influencer is not relatable. Obviously, a lot of people prefer to say content creator. I mean, this is the content creator confessions tag, and I understand that better, and I can kind of grab on hold of that more easily because we are creating content. Whether or not anybody watches it, we're still creating content for the internet, for people to consume, and that I think is a more realistic category for what we're actually doing. However, you have to consider that whatever you're doing is influencing people on some level, for good or for ill. You might be influencing them to make bad decisions, or you may be influencing them in a positive way, you know, teaching them to appreciate inner beauty or go outside and exercise. Like, you're influencing people no matter what you do or what you say. And so it's really important that as content creators, we are cognizant of that and responsible with our platform. Question number 2 is, how did you decide to become a content creator? I remember doing the part-time YouTuber tag. I can link that above for you. I did that a while ago. Don't look at the eye look. Don't look at the eye look. But anyway, I did that a while ago, and I remember talking about how I started doing YouTube. The reason was, first off, when I started getting into eyeshadow, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos. And I started to see a pattern in the kinds of videos that I enjoyed watching. And because I learned so much from them, I was thinking, you know, I could do this. Like, I could make a tutorial and share my knowledge, however small it may be. And then I remember there were a few things that I was specifically searching for. When Glamlight released the Dirty Martini palette, I already had avocado toast and I wanted to see how they compared, but I couldn't find any information on the internet, whether it was just search results or YouTube videos or Instagram posts. I couldn't find anything that compared those 2 palettes. And I was trying to decide if I wanted to spend more money to get the Dirty Martini palette. So I did end up buying it, and then I ended up doing the comparison myself so that anybody else in the universe who may want that information could search for it and find it. And I'm really glad I got the Dirty Martini because it's my favorite green palette. But anyway, that's beside the point. Those are the main reasons that I started creating content for YouTube. I also don't really have anybody in my life who cares about makeup. I have 2 friends who are sort of into eyeshadow, but just a little bit, not quite as much as I am, and they're just not as excited about it as I am. And so through the internet, like between my Instagram account and people who follow me here on YouTube, I have started to build a little community of people that I can talk to about this interest of mine. My husband doesn't care, my siblings don't care. Like, I don't have anybody who cares except the people online. So that's why I started making YouTube videos, and I really have enjoyed the process. Question number 3 says, what is your experience with knowing other creators in life, good or bad? I only know people through the internet. I haven't met any other creators. I have a friend in Latvia, and she and I chat about every other day over Instagram, and that's a lot of fun. She's really sweet. She's really, really talented. She's the one that I do all these palette bingo collaborations with. She's awesome. And I met her through Instagram. And then a couple of the people whose channels I follow, usually the smaller ones, like the really big ones don't notice me, but the smaller ones, you know, you leave a comment and they write back and you start to have a little conversation, and then maybe you subscribe and they might subscribe back, and it's this little network that you slowly build. And so far, I haven't had any bad experiences with other creators. Again, my channel's tiny, the platforms of people who I've really connected with, also tiny, and that's okay. I think that the smaller creators have more freedom to really interact with their followers because there are fewer of us. Question number 4, do you accept sponsorships and how do you feel about them? This was also a question, I think, in the part-time YouTuber tag. I have no problem with sponsorships. I mean, if a company comes to you and says, hey, we'd like you to do a video around our product. For example, you could do a video sponsored by ColourPop and do a full face of ColourPop. Or if you wear one company's jewelry all the time because you just love it, then that company might want to sponsor one of your videos. So I have no problem with it as long as it's a product that you really stand behind. It's a product that you already know, you already love, you've already been recommending it for ages. I do have a problem with people accepting sponsorships for stuff that they don't know and love and use all the time anyway. You know, I do have a problem with inauthenticity. Question number 5, have you had an experience with a brand that left a bad taste in your mouth? Not personally. I haven't had any bad experiences with brands. Like, I haven't had any shipping issues or, you know, an order that was filled wrong and they never dealt with it. The only bad taste in my mouth experience that I can relate would be a lot of the marketing photos that BH Cosmetics used to use, and I would often just avoid their website for weeks at a time until I knew that that marketing campaign was done, and then I would go back on, maybe buy something. But I didn't like to log onto their website and have this really sexualized photo in my face. I just thought it was tasteless and gross, and I didn't want my daughter seeing what was popping up on my computer. So, I mean, that's the only bad taste in my mouth. Was sometimes I don't like the way that companies choose to advertise. And question number 6 is, how do you deal with negative comments? Fortunately, I haven't had any negative comments yet. Again, my channel is itty bitty. I don't often get comments, and when I do, they are usually encouraging and positive, and I'm very grateful for them because it's validating, but it's also, again, fun to help build that community and foster communication. I haven't had any negative comments. If I did get negative comments, I would probably look and see if that person was subscribed or if they had commented before, and it depends also on the comment. If it's just straight up rude, I would probably delete it. If it was more leaning towards constructive criticism, then I would probably try to respond politely, you know, thank you for your thoughts, or I appreciate you watching, hopefully you'll like my next video better, or whatever. And if that person were to end up being a consistently negative commenter, then I would probably end up blocking them. Question number 7, what is your biggest pet peeve when it comes to comments? Honestly, because I don't have that many comments, I don't know that I have a pet peeve. Tiny channel, I think I said that before. I will say that once in a while I'll get a comment that doesn't seem to make sense or doesn't seem to fit in with what the video is. For example, I had posted a video, I don't even remember. I remember that the video was not anything remarkable, and it was pretty early in my YouTube video making journey, so it wasn't even very good quality. And somebody commented, "Slay Queen, iconic video," with all these excited emojis. And I was looking at it going, did you watch the video? Because it was not iconic. And I'm not even sure what Slay Queen means, but I think it was a compliment. But the video was not that good. And so I'm looking at the comment like, did you watch the video or did you just show up and comment? Like, maybe it's spam, maybe it's a robot, I don't know. But then I have seen that same person comment on other creators' videos with the same comment. Slay Queen, incredible video, all these emojis. And that's the sort of thing I'm like, well, is this, you know, just a spammer, or is there something that I'm not understanding about the YouTube platform? I don't know. So I don't have any pet peeves right now about comments, but that sort of thing is like, did you watch the video? Did you get anything from the video? Or are you just like clicking at people's videos, leaving comments and moving on? Question number 8 says, what is your favorite part about being a content creator? I mean, honestly, I've really enjoyed pretty much every part of the process. I really enjoy coming up with ideas. I literally have a list in my phone constantly being updated and ongoing, like, oh, I could do a video about this. Oh, I can do a video about this. I should compare these two things. So I'm always excited and coming up with new ideas for video creation. And then I like making the videos themselves. I like sitting and talking to the camera and applying my eyeshadow at the same time. I like doing theme videos. I like doing palette bingos. I get excited about eyeshadow, and pretty much anything that falls under that category makes me smile. And then I really kind of enjoy the editing process. I just use my iPhone to record, and then I have an app called InShot, and it's super easy. Like, you can add in stickers and text and music, and it's very, very user-friendly to just cut the video here, cut it here, delete that portion, and you push them together, and there you go. You have a beautiful transition. You can change the transitions from, you know, sliding or fade out, or a little circle that expands, which I usually do at the end of my tutorial. I'm like, here's your reveal. And so it's a super easy to use app, and then when it's done, I can upload it. There you go. So I really do enjoy pretty much every step in the process. It's so much fun. I do it when I want to, when I have time. It's relaxing for me. It's therapeutic to sit and be creative for a little while. It's just a bit of time for myself, and I really like it. Follow up to that is, what is your least favorite part about being a content creator? And I would say probably taking my thumbnail pictures and the pictures that I share to social media. I just don't really like taking the pictures. I don't like trying to get the lighting right, trying to get the angle right, trying to get a photo that's different from every other thumbnail photo that I've taken so that it's still showing the eyeshadow but not being in the same pose. So trying to get that variety, and I don't really like to just sit there and be like posing at the camera. I feel pretty vain when I do that. I feel like a really shallow girl just, you know, taking selfies all day, and I don't like that feeling. I don't feel shallow when I sit and put on eyeshadow and then move on with my day. I take care of my children, I cook, I clean, I do housework. I don't feel shallow doing those things with eyeshadow or wearing some makeup, but I do feel kind of petty if I'm sitting there trying to, you know, taking 45 pictures and that's just choosing the best one. I find that annoying and I don't like it. And then I have to take those pictures and edit them a little bit. There is an app called Face 365, I think, something like that, where I'll just, I'll choose like a foundation, and basically it evens out my skin tone a little bit. You can change how much with a slider. I just choose the foundation that is as close to my actual skin color in that photo, and then it evens it out, just smooths it a little bit. And then I use a different app called Focus, where I'll fade out the background so that it's not as busy behind me. Now you might have noticed I changed my filming location. Now I film in front of all this black furniture and my TV that's the size of Kentucky, but I no longer film in front of the bookshelf because it was really busy and distracting behind me. Anyway, I think that's my least favorite part, is taking the photo for the thumbnail and to share on Instagram, and then doing the editing, which is very minimal. I don't really edit hardly at all. It's literally 2 steps. But it's just 2 more things I have to do, and I just don't really like doing that part. Number 10, I think I already answered. Do you edit your own content, and if so, do you enjoy it? Yes, I do all of my own content, and yes, I do enjoy it. Question number 11, where do you draw the line in regard to sharing on social media? I actually prefer to stay more private. I'll talk about myself, my own life, some of my hobbies, but never specifics. It's always general. Like I mentioned, I have an art business. That's pretty general. You don't know what kind of art. You would probably have trouble just going and finding my business accounts on social media because I haven't told you any other information. I don't mention my children's names. I don't mention my husband's name. I know I said that he's going to college, but I didn't say where. So I'll talk about general things like that, but definitely not specifics. A lot of content creators whose videos I've watched, they'll often say that when they started doing YouTube, they shared a lot more. I know that Heather Austin has mentioned this, and so did Amy Loves Makeup. They both shared more about their family, like pictures and information about their kids and whatnot. And as time has moved on, they've stopped doing that and actually regret doing it, because you have to realize how big the internet is, and it's not really the safest place. So I personally try to keep things pretty private. Like, I'll talk general about a lot of stuff. Once or twice, my older daughter has appeared in a video, but it's just her hands while she's choosing the colors for a palette bingo. So you see her hands and you hear her voice, and that's it. And even on social media, I don't share photos of their faces and stuff. I prefer to keep all of that private. I want to protect my children. I want to protect my family. We're talking about eyeshadow, and that's all you need to know. Number 12 says, name one thing you wish you knew when you were starting out. I have to think about this one because, I mean, I've definitely learned a lot along the way. I think I've made probably around 130, 140 videos at this point. Some things that I learned along the way, you know, which orientation I should have my phone when I'm filming. My first 4 or 5 videos were vertical. I'm like, oh my word, they're so bad. Why did I just turn my phone? Things like lighting, and I don't have that figured out. I just have a ring light in the darkness of my living room, but it does a pretty good job. I think maybe if I had somebody I could talk to who was already making videos and they could give me tips, such as orient your phone horizontally, or make sure you don't have backlighting because it's going to make weird shadows, or you can talk at the normal volume. You don't have to whisper early morning because the phone will pick up. Things like that. And then apps, like the apps that are most helpful. I use Canva, and I have the free version of Canva, so I can do a lot. Honestly, there are a ton of options on the free version. What I would like to be able to do would be a background remover, but you can't get that except in the paid version. At some point, if this were to continue growing, I might end up paying for a subscription, and then I would have other features within apps and I can do, you know, better thumbnails or whatever. But I can't think of anything that stands out as far as something I wish I'd known from the beginning. Number 13 asks, is there any change you'd like to make to your content in the future? My content has morphed a little bit in the last few months. When I first started out, I was doing tutorials because that's what I was watching. But I learned that people were not that interested in just tutorials, particularly because I'm not exactly on trend with the newest releases. It's very rare that I have a palette when it's released and I can do videos that people are searching for at that moment. Most of my palettes are bought secondhand, and so they're older, the hype has died down, it's just another palette in someone's collection. So people were not really watching just the tutorials. And I got to the point where I really enjoyed watching videos where I'm watching you apply your eyeshadow, but you're also talking about something. And I noticed that when I made those videos, they got more engagement and views. So in the last couple months, I've started to make more of those kinds of videos where I think of a topic and then I'll do my eyeshadow while talking about that topic. I have started combining palettes instead of just doing one. And I really also enjoy theme videos, and the audience seems to enjoy theme videos as well. So I think that I have changed my channel's content a little bit to cater not only to what people want to see, but what I really enjoy watching and doing myself. Any future changes, you have to be sensitive to how trends are moving and changing as you go. Like, you can look at other channels and see which of their videos are getting more views than others, and you can kind of glean information like, okay, well, if that's what the audience wants, do I want to make videos like that? And if I do, go for it and have fun. And if you don't want to make videos like that, you have to accept that you might not get the views for that video anyway. So I think changes to the channel are just a matter of consistently making better and higher quality content for the viewers so that it's a pleasure to watch your videos, and also being sensitive to what people really want to see if you truly want to grow the channel. Question number 14, what company or collaboration is your dream? Okay, a follower asked me this recently, like, which company would you love to do a collab with? And I gave them a bunch of answers. Well, I really like ColourPop and Untitled, and I like the formula from Glamlight, but then I would want to try other brands. Like, I want to try Glaminatrix, and I want to try Adept because I hear they're amazing, and maybe I'd want to do a collab with them. At this point, I would say Untitled. I have loved every palette I've gotten from Untitled. I really love Untitled formula. I love their color stories. I think they're interesting and varied and different. And I also love how they perform. I love how they look, they last, they have good staying power. I adore their packaging. I think if I could choose any company at this point to do a collab with, it would be Untitled. Number 15, what other creator do you admire or would like to work with? My favorite YouTuber, everyone knows, Angelica Nyqvist. I would love to do something with her. I would just like to meet her in person. She seems really cool. I also really like Heather Austin. I like Amy Loves Makeup. There are actually several creators whose personalities I like, whose video styles I like, and whose eyeshadow preferences kind of mesh with mine. I recently did a video where I was talking about YouTubers that I watch, like creators whose opinions and feedback I trust, people who I think are genuine and authentic. I will card that above for you if you're interested. That is a good list of creators who I would be happy to work with. And also on my channels, like the homepage of the channel, you can find a suggested list of other channels to watch. So pretty much any of those. Question number 16 says, what kind of content do you hate? And I'm actually struggling with that question because if I don't like it, I don't watch it. Maybe it's more of a question of what kind of content do I hate producing? Again, if I don't like doing it, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to feel pressured to create a declutter video if I hate making declutter videos. There have been a few videos that I've made which were a bit more stressful or more time or labor intensive to create and then edit. As far as videos or themes that I don't like to make myself, I mean, I kind of like all of it. And if I don't like doing it, I'm not going to do it. But I like declutters, I like tutorials, I like chatty get ready with me's, I like palette bingos, I like reviews, I like all of it. The final question is number 17. It says, have you ever had to deal with cancel culture, and if so, how? I personally have not had to deal with anything like that. I have heard other YouTubers reference things where a brand did something they didn't like and they stopped supporting that brand. You often find that in declutter videos where you'll see a palette from Jeffree Star, for example, and the person might be like, I loved this palette, but I'm not going to use it on my channel anymore because of. And so I personally haven't dealt with anything like that. I know Juvia's Place had some comments on their Instagram recently which caused a bit of a stir. I haven't looked into it myself, so I can't comment on that, but that's probably the only cancel culture thing I've even sort of encountered, and it wasn't such a big thing that a person's just you know, excluded from the beauty community and has to go find a new job. Like, nobody talks about them, nobody buys their stuff. I haven't personally dealt with any of that. So there you go. That is the Content Creator Confessions YouTube tag. Again, remember to check my description box for the links to the original creators and the videos that I've watched. All of the questions will be listed below if you want to make this video yourself. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for hanging out with me. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to see lots more content. Remember to check out this eyeshadow look. It's going to be linked and it's going to be so much fun. And there'll be a second one as well. And until I see you again, I hope you have a lovely day. Bye. And I'm not even sure what slay clean. And I'm not even sure what slay clean. And I'm not even. I remember watching Angie's version, I remember watching Angelica's version of it. I remember watching Angelica's version.